Malik Scott, his style, especially on that night, Malik's style was a difficult style for Ortiz. Malik was a mobile. Ortiz, he don't like nobody to be mobile. He wants somebody to stay right in front of him. He wants somebody to stay right there. He's King Kong. He wants you right there. He don't like nobody that has angles, that's mobile, that's athletic. He's never seen nobody like me, ever in his whole career. I think that's going to be the scariest part for him. I'm trying to set up camp. Who is they going to bring to camp that looks like me? Not only just movement, but the speed. He can get the height and the reach, but he can't get the speed, and he certainly can't get the power. And that is what Deontay Wilder told Kevin Iole about what he's planning on doing, or I guess he tried to give a hint on what he's planning on doing against Luis Ortiz, and he spoke about Luis Ortiz's weaknesses as a fighter. Funny that he said that, because, you know, I said that the reason that I'm so confident that Deontay Wilder is going to beat Luis Ortiz is because I saw the Malik Scott fight. I saw Malik Scott frustrate the hell out of Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is one of those guys that boxers give him nightmares. Guys, like Wilder said, mobile guys that use their footwork, guys that are athletic, guys that have faster foot speed than him, they give him problems. You know, they give him problems. Kind of like Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury was a nightmare for him because he was so much taller and awkward, and he was a boxer. He never engaged Vladimir Klitschko. He fought on the outside, right? He kept his distance. He forced Vladimir Klitschko had to fight on the inside against him, but because Vladimir Klitschko doesn't like fighting on the inside, and because he's not a good inside fighter, that's why he looked terrible against Tyson Fury. So, in my opinion, it's the same situation for Luis Ortiz. He's one of those guys that he's a southpaw. He needs you coming forward against him so he can let his, wicked uppercuts go. He can let his body punches go, his power punches go. But if you force him to go after you, that's when you see his weaknesses. And I know that he was able to drop Malik Scott, but Malik Scott wasn't showing no offense. All he was doing was moving. So Luis Ortiz didn't have to worry about Malik Scott letting his hands go or countering, because he knew he was just running the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? But that movement showed me that Luis Ortiz has problems with cutting off the ring. I don't think he knows how to cut off the ring properly. And this just makes me even more confident in Deontay Wilder's ability to defeat Luis Ortiz, because that means Deontay Wilder's going into this fight knowing that he's faster than Luis Ortiz. He has faster foot speed, knowing that he is more athletic than Luis Ortiz, knowing that he knows that if he keeps his distance from Luis Ortiz, and he forces Luis Ortiz to come after him, he will be able to outbox him, because he saw Malik Scott frustrate him. The difference though between Wilder and Malik Scott is Wilder is mean. He's going to be letting his hands go. He's going to be letting his right hand go. And I'm telling you right now, Luis Ortiz is going to be way more cautious against Wilder than he was against Malik Scott. Because like I said, Malik Scott was not offensive. He was just running. He wasn't trying to win the fight. He was just running. But against Wilder, it's totally different. Wilder is going to be actually trying to hurt Luis Ortiz and put Luis Ortiz on the canvas and knock him out. So Luis Ortiz is going to be even more cautious, and Wilder's going to be on the back foot. He's going to be outboxing Luis Ortiz, and if he's able to land his right hand, I think Luis Ortiz is going to go on his show. He's going to be even more hesitant, especially if he hurts Luis Ortiz. And I see this fight either going two ways, either going the distance and Wilder winning, or either going to rounds like 8 through 10 and Wilder stopping, getting the stoppage. I just don't think Luis Ortiz is going to be taking risk. again, styles make fights. Wilder just made me more confident in himself. I think he knows what he has to do to beat someone like Luis Ortiz. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And I know styles, man. Styles make fights. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. Do you agree with Wilder? Do you think, and do you agree with me? Do you think mobility, movement, foot speed is the key to beat someone like Luis Ortiz? I've always felt Tyson Fury would be an absolute nightmare for someone like Luis Ortiz, because Tyson Fury is a master at fighting long and outboxing guys with his height and reach. I don't think that would be a competitive fight. I think Tyson Fury, prime Tyson Fury who's in shape, would school Luis Ortiz. But that's just my opinion, man. And I think Deontay Wilder is athletic enough and has the boxing skills to be able to do just that and outbox Luis Ortiz. And again, people are going to say, well, Luis Ortiz has more experience. Yes, but I mean, when Eddie Chambers fought Gerard Washington, he had way more experience. Eddie Chambers is a really slick type of fighter, and he's a counterpuncher. He was he was fighting since childhood, right? And Gerard Washington is a guy that started boxing when he was like 30 years old. He started boxing late. But yeah, if you look at that fight, Gerard Washington was able to outbox Eddie Chambers. Why? Because Gerard Washington used his height, even though Eddie Chambers had the experience, and even though Eddie Chambers had the better counterpunching skills, Gerard Washington used his brain. He was like, okay, I'm just gonna outbox. I'm gonna use my height and reach. I'm not gonna engage him, and I'm gonna outbox him. I'm gonna keep it long. I'm gonna force him to come forward, because he realized that Eddie Chambers, being the shorter guy, had to come forward, and Eddie Chambers isn't a good pressure fighter. He's a counterpuncher, slick type of fighter. So when he did that, he was able to really school Eddie Chambers. And I think this is the same scenario when it comes to Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is definitely the better fighter, in my opinion. He's definitely the most skillful guy. But Deontay Wilder is more athletic. Deontay Wilder realizes that if he's able to use his height and reach it against Luis Ortiz, that's going to play a major role. And if he's able to move and not stay still, that's going to be a major advantage for him. And he's going to frustrate Luis Ortiz. And I'm telling you, I know this is going to happen, man. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, man. I'm out, man.